Welcome to Beans and Breakdowns, a podcast dedicated to bridging the gap between specialty coffee and the heavy music community. On this episode, I'm joined by Nicolai Lindegaard, the guitarist for the band Lifesick. So grab a fresh cup of coffee and wake the fuck up! What's going on, caffeinated crew? On this episode, I'm joined by Nicolai from the band Lifesick. What's going on?
Cheers. Everything's good. Glad to be on the podcast. Glad to be sharing a cup of coffee with you and talk about heavy music or whatever you want to talk about.
Well, we're just going to talk about football. So,
okay.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Then,
I'm just playing.
Then I'm logging off right now. I'm not really into football, to be honest, but for the national team, I guess, only.
Yeah, I only really follow national.
Yeah. Yeah. But
I see you have some coffee.
Yes.
What are you drinking?
Yeah, the situation, as I told you before, was kind of, I didn't manage to get back in the office, so I'm sitting in the car right now. But so I had to get this from a local bakery, but it's overpriced for, it's a flat white, and it's, yeah, I don't know. I always order flat whites from these gas stations or bakeries because, yeah, I don't know. And I would never make a flat white myself. I only order it. Yeah. But I like it. But it's 44 crowns, which is super, super overpriced for like this small cup here. Should be half of it. But
yeah, that's...
Never mind. What about you? What are you having?
So I have something special. I have a little surprise.
Okay.
So I had a friend, I'll just show you. It's Cabra, originally from Aarhus, but my friend is the QC manager for the Brooklyn roaster location.
Okay.
And he sent me a little care package. So he sent me these. These are like, they're bags. They're like little tea bags that you can use on the go.
I was wondering.
Yeah, I wasn't making
drinking tea. Yeah, that's what I've never seen that.
I would never drink tea.
Oh, okay.
so he sent me these. So this is the first time I'm trying them. But they're really cool. If you're on tour, you can have some beautiful La Cabra coffee that you can make with just some hot water. And it's
gonna hook them up, or I don't know, write them, see if they want to go on tour with Lifesick.
I'm sure they'd love to. I'm sure that they're all big metalheads, even in Aarhus.
Yeah, but it's a metal city, not hardcore, but metal.
Yeah, very metal.
Different. Yeah.
Similar to Montreal.
Yeah, really? Okay.
Yeah. But this is their Danche. It's a Yirgacheffe Ethiopian coffee, and it's like very fruity and floral, and says that it has taste of fresh summer berries, which is fitting because we're having a heat wave of like 32 degrees.
That's insane. But it sounds really good. Gotta try it, because I'm usually just going for usually at home I make filter coffee, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, I don't know, here you don't get like the really special roast in the supermarkets. I bet it's way bigger over there, but yeah, so that's what I enjoy. But all the berry stuff and all that, I've gotta go deeper into that.
Well, I wouldn't, if you're getting into it, I mean, La Cabra is very, very nice. But I think when I went, it was, the pour over I got was either, I can't remember how much is this conversion, but it was either 60 or 90 crowns.
Wow,
I cannot
that's
remember. Yeah, it was
kind
expensive.
of expensive, but yeah, I mean, if it's like, it's also very unique, so I guess it's okay somehow. I don't know how for this package, right, with a few of these in.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
I don't know how much it was. I got it for free, so full
Wow.
disclosure.
It's funny when you mentioned Aarhus before, because I don't know if you've seen in Aarhus, there is, I bet it's also a thing over there. There's these like coffee trucks, small bikes that serve coffee. There, I
Hmm.
have a friend there, which I did the logo for his little truck or bike, or what you call it. So next time you're in Aarhus, you should take a look out for that, because he's also like into hardcore and metal and stuff like that. So he would probably enjoy, yeah, meeting a guy like you.
Yeah, that'd be great because I didn't meet a ton of people when I was there. I got a tattoo, so I got to speak with the tattooer, she's like from Aarhus.
Okay,
But yeah, I only had like one day there, like one full day.
okay, yeah,
Um, but I
but
feel like
that's
I did a
nice.
lot. It was very
Yeah, but
nice.
it's nice. You
Uh,
just experienced it, I guess. Yeah.
it was during the Euros too, so everybody was freaking out because Denmark was playing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's when stuff is like that is going on in those cities, it's chaos. But
Yeah,
it's kind of funny. The vibe is good. Usually,
it's like
most of the time.
yeah, between that and graduations. Graduations was also happening, and so there was just parties the whole
Yeah,
time.
yeah. That's a little like the party season for sure.
Hmm. Um, what is your if you are gonna go out of your way
Mm,
in in your like where you're living in Onse?
mm, yeah.
Um, what coffee shop are you gonna go get? Like what's the best one?
Mm, like in Odense, there are like a few like smaller, but as I mentioned earlier before, it's usually I get coffee from the bakeries, which is not actually like coffee shops, because it's not like super big in Odense. It's not like a big city. There's more like a cafe and bakeries, and
Hmm.
if there's a coffee shop, it's they're kind of rare. But I would say, hmm, uh, to mention one really good. It's kind of embarrassing. I forgot the name right now.
It's
But
fine.
but
I forgot the
I,
name of my friend's band.
I mean, I could mention this one. It's like a chain. It's called Laukagehuset. They make
Okay.
good coffee, and they're like experienced and experimenting with different stuff also. But I
Hmm.
just went for the flat white somehow. I always do that. I think it's because it's convenient to drink it right away, especially when
Hmm.
I'm kind of driving from place to place. Um, yeah, I should have prepared that question. I should have knew you would ask about
It's
the shop, but I'll probably come up. I'll just think about it. I'll we'll
yeah.
get it in later. But Laukehuse
What's
is all right. It's just pricey.
okay? What's what's the best pastry? Like what is your go-to baked good when you walk into a bakery?
I don't know. I'm kind of into the cream, with a lot of whipped cream and
Ooh,
stuff like that. There,
okay.
I would say there's there's this thing called medalje. It means like a medallion, I think, and it's like with two. It's like a cookie somehow, or yeah, cookie on top and cookie on the bottom, and in the middle there's like cream and like all the good stuff. But it's you cannot really eat it as soon as you. It's just broken, and but so yeah. But I'm really like I like that stuff. but all of course, like like they call it a snail. I'm not sure what you call it. Maybe a Danish, I think you call it. But here it's not a Danish. It's like a snail with cinnamon snail, you actually call it. And it's like a thing, like a huge thing over here. Yeah. I'm not sure what you call it over there, but
like a cinnamon roll?
Yeah, cinnamon roll. Yeah, I think it's like very similar, but they just call it a snail here. Which is not probably kind of disgusting when you think about it, but it's like it's really getting bigger and bigger. Every Wednesday here they call it like they have where it's like the Wednesday cinnamon roll, and you can get like huge cinnamon rolls. Like, yeah. It's a big thing here, but there's a lot of good pastry in Denmark. I would actually say that I prefer Danish pastry over anything else in the world. I mean, compared to pastry all around the world. Otherwise, Danish food and in general, I don't. But just the pastry and the bread and stuff is just, I don't know. I would always go for Danish. Yeah.
Yeah. I fully agree. I'm a big fan of Danish pastries, and I've done like Sweden and Italy and France. Like, I've been to a lot of places, but Denmark has the best pastries.
Same.
Like a nice canobrulle.
Yeah.
or a indbesnite.
Oh yeah, that's a good. Actually, the cookie I talked about, or it's not a cookie, like the thing on the hindbærsnitte is like the same on the medallion I talked about, on top and bottom, and just cream in the middle. It's like a hindbærs.
So it's like shortbread.
Yeah, I guess you would call it that. But it's like a cookie. It's cracking, but it's like or you can take a hindbærsnitte on top and a bottom and just cream in the middle. It's like a super fancy hindbærsnitte. Yeah, it's the
like
next
diabetes
level. Yeah, it's that's for sure not probably the most unhealthy pastry we have, all with the cream and stuff.
Yeah, I remember going everywhere that I would find an indbesnite. It's like, I gotta get that. That's what I gotta get. It's the best.
Yeah, it's kind of similar to that American brand also that makes these boxes where there are a lot of these. You
Little
can get
Debbie?
it like you can get it with every flavor everywhere. It's like in a box, and it looks like square, like hindbærsnitte. Very
Pop-Tarts?
American. Pop-Tarts, yeah. That's what isn't it kind of similar to that?
Okay, so yes, that's what I met. I was at a bar watching the Germany-Denmark match, and this like very drunk older Danish lady comes and sits next to me, and we were talking, and she's like a French teacher. Yes, she's like a French teacher in Copenhagen, and I was like, oh well, I live in Quebec, so I'm learning French and stuff. And then I was like, what is the Pop-Tart thing, like the strawberry Pop-Tart thing? And she was like, strawberry Pop-Tart? I was like, or maybe raspberry. And she was like, oh, hindbærsnitte. And I was like, okay. But yeah, I kept calling it a Pop-Tart.
Yeah, but it's just made from a bakery instead of a factory, I guess. So it's very similar. Mm-hmm. The thing about hindbærsnitte, you don't get all the different cool flavors as the Pop-Tarts. That they have a lot of cool stuff. Mm-hmm. And it's very expensive here, those also, because they have to import it, I guess. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's not, you cannot get it anywhere. Maybe in they have these candy shops where it's like they import all these American brands and stuff like that, and it just costs too much for.
It's funny because we have those stores, but it's all like Korean and Japanese snacks.
Yeah, all that sorts of stuff also, but yeah, of course with the American stuff as well.
It's overrated. It's bad for you.
I have a thing for it, but I guess it's because I cannot get it anywhere,
you're just gonna have to come. You're gonna have to come tour in Canada so you can buy all of that.
Yeah, I would love to. That's one of our main goals, actually. We have also talked about it with Philip, and there was also some interest, actually. So it's just also the good thing about touring in Canada is you don't have to. I mean, you have to get a visa, of course, but it's not like the same super expensive visa as you have to go to US. It's like super fucking expensive. So that's also the good thing. So I guess it will happen sooner or later, I think. I hope.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely know a few places that y'all could play that would really, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how, I don't know. There's some bands that definitely like would fit on bills with you guys. Cause Lifesick is like, you guys have been around for almost 10 years, right?
Yeah. It's kind of crazy. We've never been there, but it's just, I don't know. It's been hard saving all the stuff. And last big trip we wanted to go was the Asia tour. So it was like either go to Canada actually, or not like, but we have some, or should we just do the Asia tour? And we're like, okay, let's do the Asia, because it's always also been a huge dream for us, and also been a big demand from there. So bigger than Canada. That's probably also why. But yeah, I hope we'll manage to do it one day. So, yeah.
Well, tell me a bit about how you got into heavy music. What were you listening to as a kid?
Actually, it started like I've probably been 8, 9, or 10. And my brother, I think he got this CD with the Offspring, stuff like that, and some 41, Green Day, and Blink-182, like all these bands that were super popular. I'm born in '92. And my brother is 4 years older than me, and he got all these CDs and stuff like that, and that was like really cool. And also at that time I started playing guitar myself, because my brother did also more like classical stuff and stuff like that. But then I think where the really extreme stuff came in was when I got the first CD with or not the first, but a Limp Bizkit CD. That was like, okay, and Korn. Okay, this stuff is there's some heavy stuff. They're screaming, and yeah, that. So from there, I think that was also at that time I started my own band, like practicing for fun at the school jam room. So from there, I think you just, okay, there are actually some local metal bands also. They play metalcore. Let's check this stuff out. And then I think from there all the metalcore era really started, and also hardcore at that time. But it was like I would say maybe 5 or 6 years later from when I started listening to all the nu metal stuff. So it was like, I think nu metal really started where, okay, there are heavy stuff, like really. And there from there, I think in our where we're from, there was this festival called Fredericia Hardcore Festival, and they had some really good bands. They had Madball and some really cool Ceremony play. Like they had some really good hardcore bands, and I think from there I just discovered what hardcore was. And from there, I just couldn't get rid of hardcore, because I don't know, I'm a type of guy, I listen to everything. I also listen to pop music, actually. I listen to everything, but I just think the hardcore community is very special, and I think that's why I can't really get rid of it. So that's why it like, and I think it's actually later that death metal and like the thrash metal stuff came in for me. I discovered that super late, I would say. Still discovering stuff, but that's where Lifesick started, because we like mix all these death metal stuff, thrash with hardcore, and I think that was just fun, because we maybe discovered a bit late. I don't know, but we've never been picky with genres. That's why we we love to just explore new bands and all that stuff. So yeah, that was like the journey for me, I would say. Yeah.
Were you always into like the HM2, trying to crank just the loudest guitar
Yeah,
sound?
I mean, I've been from now. It's maybe 15 years ago. I discovered that sound. No, I knew about like Dismember and Entombed and stuff like that, obviously. But I think where the sound really like, wow, I need to get this pedal. It was through a band called Black Breath, and obviously Nails, bands like that. That was like, okay, wow, I need to explore this stuff more. And yeah, since that has just been a thing. I've been collecting different clones, and we also did one ourselves with a guy from Spain, Inverted Cross Audio, and just been always it's a cool sound to tweak. So yeah, that's probably 15 years ago I discovered that sound.
So ahead of the game.
Yeah, I mean, in Denmark it was like really. I knew obviously people knew about the sound because of Intune, but they've never. Wow, okay, these guys mixing it with hardcore. What's up with that? So they didn't like in this beginning. No one could really define our style. They were like, okay, this is a black metal band. Okay, it's fair enough. We've never been like we wanted to put in a box, but obviously we came from hardcore and we will always be hardcore. But I think it's also cool to mix these stuff in, like the death metal, Swedish death metal sound. I think that's always going to be a thing in Lifesick, HM2 and breakdowns.
That's like, it's sick. Because if you go back and listen to, what is it, 610 is the first release?
Yeah, 601.
601. And it's like, it's a beatdown record, essentially. Like, it's like hardcore riffs, beatdown riffs, like with an HM2. I was like, what? So they just started with the HM2 and they're like, just breakdowns.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's just fucking sick.
We just wanted to have it in from the start, and but I guess there are more breakdowns in the newer stuff. But back then we like still had to like dial stuff in and all that. But it was like we're all these years in Denmark we've been like hiding as a hardcore band, and was just called, oh, these guys are heavy metal, but heavy metal. It's kind of funny because actually hardcore is not really a thing in Denmark, to be honest. You could get hated quite a lot back then, but I think over the time hardcore is way more accepted. Just different genres in general are more accepted in Denmark. There were a lot of piggy metal dudes behind the screen just commenting on the hardcore bands and the dancing style, but I think these days it's pretty cool. And I think there's something to do with, we have this festival called Copenhagen. Do you know about it? They're really like embracing different styles and bands. So I think it's getting that's a good for us because there are not really that many hardcore bands in Denmark. There are a few. So yeah, it's not been always been easy to be a hardcore band in Denmark.
That's what Go ahead.
No, there's just I think maybe 10 years before we started, it was probably all right but there was just this 10-year gap where, oh, it's just death metal. Fuck all that hardcore shit. But I think these days it's kind of, I feel like people are starting to think it's cool here in Denmark somehow.
Well, it's even talking with like I talked to Kim from Mol like a couple of years ago, and he was saying that he had started in hardcore and then became a black metal vocalist. And I was like, there's hardcore bands in Denmark? And then I kind of fell down this rabbit hole where like you find like Cabal and obviously and you know, I think I found Lifesick maybe through Mol as well, just trying to find like Danish heavy bands that weren't just death metal. Not that I don't like death metal. I fucking love death metal. Shout out Plague.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, they're also cool band.
But then it's even like, I find it's not even, I don't think so much a Danish thing as it is like a European thing, where hardcore is like a different, it's like a collection of like people's influences from metal and like metalcore, but it has like dancier riffs maybe. And so the what people classify as hardcore is so much more broad in Europe than it is even in the US, because people in the US they're assholes about hardcore, which is fine because that's kind of where it was invented. Like,
yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
If you remotely sound like a metalcore band, then you're like, that's not fucking hardcore, that's metalcore.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool that you're able to get away with, I think, a little bit more different influence.
Yeah, I think so too. And we're, of course, very happy that people been supporting us for all these years, and like that we could gather different types of people. So that's just really nice. But yeah.
Are there moshers? Y'all got moshers out there?
Not really. It's not really accepted at all. I think, especially at the bigger venues, if you start moshing and do that, you will just get. You could easily be dragged out or by the security, and people would also just stop you. What are you doing? And you will just see people commenting about this stuff. It's not really accepted. I mean, at our shows, it is accepted because we have like been forcing people to mosh hard and do all this stuff. We've been forcing people, telling people how to stage dive, how to mosh. So I think if you come to a Lifesick show, you know how to act, and I think everyone knows about that. But if you play like a mixed lineup, I don't know, it's hard. But back to what I said before, I think actually it's getting better. I think people are starting to, because I see metalheads two-stepping, and that's unusual. And I see like people are not like stopping people who mosh and spin kick and stuff like that. So I think something good is the violent moshing will conquer in Denmark one day.
One day.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing crowd killing's not like a thing.
Crowd killing is not a thing at all.
That's crazy.
Not. Yeah, it's you never see it. Never. Not even at hardcore shows. Because also people, those who want to mosh, there are maybe a few, and I know them all. We are kind of afraid to start doing that because we don't want to like get thrown out.
Yeah,
that's how it is, the situation about that, and it fucking sucks. But I think it get better because I think people are they're accepting more. But we had some bad years, I would say. But because I was at Copenhagen the other day, and we were watching Walls of Jericho and Guilt Trip and stuff like that with breakdowns, and there was no stopping when people start windmilling and all that. So that's kind of good. So that's why I think we're on the right path for breakdowns.
That's sick. I'm happy that at least people are letting it happen, right? They're learning.
They're letting it happen. That's what I would say. Yeah, but that's good. But
My cat is just straight up playing.
Spin kicking.
He's spin kicking right now. No, he's playing with a bug. Hang on, I'm gonna go kill this bug.
That's fine. I've been interrupted too much as well.
We're having an entertaining day today.
Yeah, so sorry. That I started this.
It's like the ADHD podcast. Yeah, I don't know if y'all get these. Have you ever seen a house caterpillar?
I have, but it's not really a big. It's something you see here, and it's just small ones here. But
okay, yeah, no, they get like really big here, like that long.
Yeah, I've seen that. It's crazy.
Yeah, so my cat is like, I see him like pawing at something on the ground and like chasing it around, and he's not gonna kill it. He's just playing with it, and I'm like, what's the point of having a cat if it doesn't like get rid of the
Kill
bugs?
the bugs. Yeah.
So I didn't want it to crawl on me.
The whole purpose about getting a cat.
Exactly. Killing. Yeah, you get a cat for the killing.
Killing the bugs.
Yeah, about Copenhagen, I love like seeing a lot of the videos, and I love especially that they put emphasis on booking Danish bands, and giving a lot of young bands opportunity to play. Like I think, didn't Split play this year?
Not this year, unfortunately, but they plan another, like even a bigger festival called Roskilde Festival.
That's right.
But yeah, Copenhagen, they're really embracing Danish band, giving every band an opportunity. And every band will get an opportunity there, because there will be people at any show. There's not shows where, oh, let's not go this, because there are obviously a lot of stages and bands going on at the same time, but you can always be sure that there are people at your show. So that's really good. That's a good thing about that festival. They're really doing good stuff for the heavy music.
I haven't been able to go yet, because every time I plan my vacation, it's always like the week after for some reason, because that's when all of our holidays are.
Okay.
But I really do want to go one year, because it looks like the vibe is very good.
It's amazing over there. Like, yeah, it's I mean, I've not been to like only metal festivals before, so I cannot compare. But I just think that this is really well organized. Things are going smooth, like every detail, and they take super good care of bands. I've been playing there with Lifesick also, but also been helping other bands, and just everything is just really, really on point. I would say they have a good thing going on.
Yeah. Tell me, loved by none, hated by all. It's an aggressive title.
Yeah, it's all thanks to Simon. It's his lyrical universe of like. It's kind of personal also, because it's like things he's been dealing with through the past couple of years, and mental health and stuff like that. So it's like all the super tough things on this album. And I think that I know that the title is not like how it feels always. I think it just sums up how most of these songs are, what they're based on, that it's a feeling. So, but it's kind of, it's very negative, very depressive, but I think that's like the concept about the album, to speak about those stuff. Yeah.
I think notably the riffs just feel much more like death metal influenced.
Yeah, I think we took a lot more death metal influence to it, and also probably more breakdown stuff. But I think the death metal thing, especially for me, I really wanted to bring into this album, because I love the tonality and the aggression in that, and I think it just cool to have a hardcore riff like a D beat, and you mix in like death metal tones. That's how I really like to structure songs and riffs. So yeah, I'm glad you heard that.
Well, I just recorded, some friends have a band that they started, and I recorded they did like 8 tracks, but I think it's only a 15-minute record.
Perfect.
Yeah, perfect. It's like a minute and a half each. So I'm recording them, and yeah, it's like very D beat and like skank beat a lot, but then it'll go into like a breakdown, like almost Dying Fetus-y riff.
Shit, slam,
almost
stuff.
like almost some slamminess to it, but the guitar is a blend. It's like a 6505 blended with a crate solid state HM2, just dimed. And so I think that style's, it's getting big.
Yeah, that's kind of what we also do. 6505 actually right now with HM2. So and with Orange. Yeah, send me the band afterwards. I'd love to check it out. Also curious about the stuff you've done. Said you're recording stuff. That's
well, I may be playing guitar with them, so that'll be
okay.
Cool. But it's bandmates that I already have. Like they started another band with some other friends. That's kind of like in our crew.
Yeah.
And so I was like doing their LP, and I'm like, yeah, I might have to play guitar in this. And they're like, for real? And I was like, yeah, but I just want to play the HM2 side. And then they're like, okay.
That's cool. That's actually how we did it in the start. Like just a traditional 50 or 6505 distortion on the other side and HM2 with my side. But today we mix both. Like it's mixed, like both are with HM2 actually. But on both sides live, but recording, we also mixed both all of with HM2. But back in the days, we mixed like you said. That's why maybe the first record, the 601, is not that HM2 sounding as the newer stuff, because it's mixed more. There's more chugging to it. I would say it's probably more muddy sound to the newer stuff. I think we want to go a little bit back actually with the newer stuff we're working on right now, going a little bit back to have more chugging. Maybe less HM2, but still dirty and stuff. So yeah,
it reminds me a lot of that Rust record from Harm's Way.
Yeah.
Like,
I like that guitar sound also. Actually, that's also been a band that inspired us very much. Also, actually, yeah,
it's super industrial.
Yeah,
it's really really sick. So tell me, are y'all gonna stay on Nuclear Blast with the upcoming stuff that y'all are writing?
Oh, it's actually a Metal Blade record.
Sorry, I keep getting everything fucking confused with the labels. It's on Metal Blade.
Yeah, no worries about that.
Sorry.
We're for sure. We're so happy to be working with them that they wanted to sign us. It's like a big dream come true. I think it's the first. We have been on different labels, not to talk bad about anything, because every journey was good. But I think this is just feels like more. It feels like a relationship. Like we understand each other, and they. So we're super happy to work with them. And the contract is 3 albums, so we have to keep writing. But it's for us, it's perfect.
That's awesome. Well, you guys have a bunch of shows coming up over the summer in the EU. One of them is with Haywire, which is like one of my favorite bands right now. That's
on Thursday, actually, I think.
So the day that this drops.
Cool. We played a show with them at a festival called Steel City, and we saw them there, and we was like, oh, this band's cool. And we talked with them afterwards, and we had this show coming up, little headline stuff. So I talked to the promoter. You need to get these guys on the show as well. So that's why they are on the show as well, because we really like this band, and I think they have a good future ahead for them. They're also coming to Denmark actually later this year. So and cool, just with female vocalist, and good band.
Yeah, they're super sick. We have a big Oi scene here in Montreal, and so to see a hardcore band like that, that's very like Oi influenced, but still very like punk.
You mix up with the American Haywire.
Oh, there's 2 Haywires.
Yeah, it's not the American Haywire, it's the German Haywire.
Oh, I didn't know there were 2.
Yeah, that's kind of, I feel so bad for this band, because they had this name for years before the American Haywire, which is popping right now. And then that's right there. They're more like oi punk, but this German Haywire is violent, beatdown stuff, hardcore. Yeah, there are two, unfortunately, but the American band, I think they didn't notice. They just ruined the name for a German Haywire.
Well, it's probably why they have to do Haywire 617 or something like that, right? They have to like,
yeah, exactly. But yeah, they get mixed up all the time and tagged to different bands. But yeah, both bands are cool. I would love to play with either what Haywire. I don't care. I play with both
at the same show.
Yeah.
Well, what would you say is the city you're most looking forward to playing this summer?
I would say Eber in Belgium at the Eberfest. It's been like a goal for us since the beginning. I think we've been spamming their email for 10 years now, and all of this. Finally, they wanted to have us on the bill, so that's just good. And the lineup is just crazy. They just added Hatebreed on the same day, and they have some so sick bands, and it's just that's what I'm looking most forward to. But we're also playing some cool festival in France and Switzerland, and the Super Bowl of hardcore in France is also like getting really big, some cool bands. But Eber has just been something special, for something we've been always wanting. So we'll kind of wait to go there soon. Next week. That's next week.
Some of my friends played Eber last year and really loved it. A band called Spite House.
Okay.
But they also played like Outbreak and some of the other fests around. So they're very cool. And they just got signed to Pure Noise. So shout out to them.
Oh shit. That's so they're getting big.
Yeah, but it's like it's very much like it's kind of like that pop punk. No, I don't want to call them pop punk. It's like kind of punk rock, but hardcore. It's hard to describe without saying like without saying they sound like Title Fight. They kind of sound like Title Fight.
Okay. Spite what?
Spite House.
Spite House.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta check it out.
They're very, very, very good. But they're in Europe right now.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
so
I mean,
maybe they are
and
playing. They might be playing Eberfest.
Yeah, I don't know. I've not checked all bands out yet, but our plan is to get there early and see as many bands as possible.
Give me a list. Give me some underrated hardcore bands that deserve a shout out from Denmark.
I would say number one is Rot Away. I think they only done one show outside of Denmark. Otherwise, they've always been there. But they're active like in other bands as well. But that's really a good hardcore band. There is also a band called Hard Lesson, more like the old school tough guy hardcore stuff they're influenced about. Also, they're working hard, I would say, for really getting out there. Now I think I've mentioned all hardcore bands, to be honest. No, there are of course some more, but they are really, really not. I would say also Split, as you mentioned, but they're more like they're a hardcore band, I would say. I listened to some of the new stuff that's not out yet, and I think that will blow people's mind, because that's heavy, that's good, and it's new to the scene in Denmark. But I mean, before that, I think they're not like super active, but they are still a band. That's my favorite hardcore band in Denmark. It's called Halshug. They've been a band for also like 10 years plus. They're hardcore punk. That's my favorite hardcore band in Denmark. But there are, mostly are like punk influenced. They're not like hardcore. That's the only the two I mentioned in the before. But that's the Rodaway. Check them out.
I like Rodaway.
Yeah, you know them already.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
It's they're really good. What else? They're just not that many hardcore bands.
Is Galge?
Galge? I don't know. Not to step on any toes, but I don't think it's a hardcore band. I'm not sure what they're called. Probably
it's kind of crusty.
It's probably hardcore influenced for sure. They mix all these sorts of stuff, sludge and some grind parts, and it's an interesting band. I would say they're really good, like really really good actually. It's just not on my hardcore list. But they're definitely influenced by hardcore. But when I'm thinking hardcore, I'm thinking Terror.
Yeah, of course.
And from there, what comes from there? But
man, it's crazy that you can name on less than one hand the amount of hardcore bands in Denmark. Y'all, people need to start hardcore bands. Well, Nicolai, I really appreciate you hanging out with me on your lunch break on this wonderful afternoon. I was up early, so I'm having a great day.
What time is it over there?
I got up at like 5.
Holy shit.
It's okay.
It's just getting the day started now. It's a long day.
That's what I'm saying. I have my first cup. I got an early start, so I'll be very productive today. But it's a holiday, so me and some friends are going to meet up this afternoon and go drinking at... actually, I'm sure you're a fan of Despised Icon.
Yeah, that's one of my all-time favorites from when I started to listening to all this stuff. Yeah, they're Canadian heroes.
They're from Montreal.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I've seen them live also, like years back. But they're definitely huge for me. Nice.
So, Alex, the singer, he runs a brewery here in town.
Okay.
Called Mezerim.
Cool. Nice.
So we like to go hang out there.
I understand. That must be the best coffee in the world. That's amazing.
Yeah. So we're gonna go chill, have some food. But I have one last question for you before we go. What's your favorite city for Beans and Breakdowns?
My favorite city?
Yeah.
Aarhus, maybe. I don't know. What do you mean? Sorry again about the question.
Like
just which city where? Yeah.
Who has the best coffee, best breakdowns?
Oh, okay. I would say Aarhus for the beans because of my friend Nicholas at the Kaffeskuden, the little wagon I talked about, that brews some delicious coffee. And breakdowns, I would say Fredericia, the hardcore capital in Denmark. That's gotta be it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, hopefully one day I can bring one of my bands over and we'll play something like that.
I'll help you getting over here.
Please.
Let's keep in touch.
Yeah, for sure. But Nicolai, I really appreciate it. I hope that you guys have a great run of shows this summer.
Thanks.
And really, really looking forward to hearing some new music from Lifesick.
Thank you. Appreciate it. It was a pleasure being on the podcast. See you.
Thank you. Thanks for listening to this episode of Beans and Breakdowns. I want to say a huge thanks to Nicolai for hanging out on this episode. Be sure to check out Loved by None, Hated by All, the latest LP available from Lifesick on all streaming platforms, and keep an eye out if they have any shows coming up near you. If you've enjoyed the podcast, please subscribe and leave a review. You can find out more information about the podcast by following us on Instagram at Beans and Breakdowns or on the web at beansandbreakdowns.com. Until next week, be sure to stay caffeinated and wake the fuck up.